how do you think what we're doing today is going to impact the future?
I think we as educators now see the importance of technology. I know in our building, there's definitely some people that have, their heels have been dragging with introducing it to their classroom because they're not familiar with it. And this is just case in point, whether you want to or you feel comfortable, it's where we're going. It's where our kids are going. It's their future. So we've got to learn how to maneuver technology to prepare our kids for this future that we don't really know what it's going to look like. So I think that's huge, is it's going to force technology or force people to think about technology that maybe have not so much before.
I think for me, it's forced me to take a really close look at my curriculum and understand what are the really important things and where are the things that I should focus on more. I think that might be a common thread for a lot of people, because when we're forced to say, okay, what is the thing or the things that are really important for kids to know, that forces a little clarity that we might not always have when we think we've got all the time in the world compared to this.
I agree. I think thinking about my curriculum and what's meaningful in their learning, it's not just content, it's applying it and teaching them for life, not for the social studies class or the math class. It's for life. And as Angell said, using the technology, their life is technology. The rest of their life, they'll be using it. So we need to get them comfortable with it and teach it in a meaningful way that's not just checking a box like, yes, I met that curriculum goal. It's like integrating it with their real life moments and what's happening to them, and giving curriculum that is meaningful for their future, such as how is this going to impact me? And I think a lot more focus like that has occurred for me as a teacher, and being aware of that this is their world and we've got to keep teaching them for life, not for the classroom.
Technology certainly is a lifelong skill, and from the parent blogger side of things, one thing that I speak a lot to parents about is screen time and screen time limits. And parents always want to know, well, how am I going to manage screen time? You know, how do I shut it down? My kids are doing X, Y, and Z when they're on their screens. And, you know, this has made parents rethink screen time, because I'm always a big proponent of the fact that as parents, you need to know what your kids are doing on screens. There's a big difference between productive screen time and passive screen time. And moving to online education, where we are doing virtual learning now, parents are now seeing that there is a lot of value to what can be done with screens and the productivity and the learning that can take place. So hopefully that's a conversation that will continue with parents. And I think it's gonna flip the conversation about screen time limits on its head, because right now there are no screen time limits. Our kids need to be in front of screens to get education and to be learning from us. So it'll be interesting to see how that transforms in the coming months, even after we're done with distance learning and virtual learning and crisis schooling. So we'll see.
Yeah, I want to piggyback off of that. I think that one of the big changes that we're going to see is what is truly, truly required for learning. It's very easy when we're in the classroom in front of our students to say, well, this needs to be here or the kids won't learn, or I need to do X or the material won't be taught. And I think that that is going to be challenged in everyone if it hasn't already. We have a few instances of students that in our classroom before this happened, getting them to produce anything was not possible for a variety of different reasons. But we're also now seeing high levels of engagement from that same group. And that has opened up a few eyes to the possibility that, you know what, if traditional learning in a classroom is a barrier, then maybe this sort of thing could work to help augment that. So there's going to be ways, I think, where this model that we end up creating in our contexts could survive, and it could be tweaked and it could be improved to use or to reach students that maybe in a traditional classroom setting, we haven't been able to. And the far-reaching impacts, I don't even want to gaze into that crystal ball just yet, because it could be back to business, or it could be the world will never be the same. It's hard to know.
I think that's a great way to wrap up today. But I want to thank all of you for sharing, coming in, providing your insights. I love the fact that, even though it wasn't a choice for most of us to be put in the situation that we're in, that all of you have kind of looked at this as an opportunity, and not only an opportunity to create something that can help so many, but also bring the humanity, back to it, and don't just, if we can't be there in person, we can still make it fun for everybody. So thank you so much for sharing, and hopefully you can all join us next month on May 16th. We do this every month on the third Saturday of the month, and it will be on May 16th. The topic is curriculum development, so we'll have more details on that coming up. But thank everybody for tuning in, and I hope all of you enjoy the rest of your day and the rest of your crisis remote teaching. Thank you.
Thanks so much for having me. It was nice meeting all of you.